Hello YouTube, welcome back to another edition of Budget Magic. Today we're going to be going over Mono White Lurrus Auras. This deck has been sweeping through Mythic right now. Tons of people are finding this deck and playing it, and it's helping them creep up the ladder. So more and more people are just pouring over into Mythic, and this is one of the reasons that it's doing so. There's a lot of different deck lists out there, but I chose to go with one of the more recent ones that was posted 3 days ago on MTG Goldfish by Jumpy Wizard. So Jumpy Wizard, if you end up watching this video, I'm playing your deck. I like it. So I think it's a lot of fun. Key notes to talk about this deck is that it is only 1 rare, 12 uncommons, and 28 commons. And you don't even really need to spend the rare on Lurrus. Lurrus just kind of helps you get a little bit extra over the top, and we kind of want to use our companions as much as we can before they most likely get the banned hammer on June 1st. So, this is the list we're going to go with. The main purpose of this deck is you want to play a lot of creatures with the ability to give protection or have evasion. And so that is why we have these 12 creatures here to do just that. Alseed makes it so either a creature cannot be killed by a removal spell, or it makes it so that it can be unblockable if your opponent has only one color of creature blocker. Gingerbrute can be unblockable if it is attacking through a team of creatures without haste. And Healer's Hawk, just a flyer. You know, there's not a lot of decks right now that play flyers, and so that's one of the reasons why Healer Hawk is in there. Plus, it's a great 1/1. It's got lifelink, so you know it's perfectly a good creature, and it's a common. Outside of that, for protection pieces, we have God's Willing, and we have Karametra's Blessing. Those are 2 other ways of just making sure that our creatures do not get removed, because the rest of the deck is all auras, where we just try and go all in as much as we can on one creature, and just continue to bash face, Bogle style, simple and straightforward. So, with our creatures of evasion and protection, our 8 spells of just straight up protection, and sometimes even a pump spell, if Karametra's Blessing just needs to get in the extra damage, and a bunch of these auras, our plan is to just beat down as fast as possible. So with that being said, no need to dilly-dally, and let us just hop right into the games here, and we'll play Budget Auras in the Mythic area. Okay, here we are with game 1 here. This deck has what we need. We do need to fade 1 piece of removal, however. We are playing against the Obosh deck, so there's a good chance they might have a shock, but this hand could be keepable if we just make it to turn 2. So I'm guessing what we're going to do here is just play a Plains and pass, and hope that they do tap out and don't leave up removal after just seeing the Plains. Maybe they'll think that we're on the Cycler's deck, and then that way turn 2 we can play Alseed of Bounty and Glaring Aegis. We can't just simply play Alseed on turn 1 here because it's just too risky. If our Alseed dies, then we literally have nothing, and we're just playing until we can either land Lurrus or something else. So this hand is definitely keepable, but we're going to play a little bit conservatively. Okay, so they do leave up just a mountain here. They usually have 1-drop, so it's most likely just going to be a shock that they have in hand. If anything at all, we could wait till turn 3 now, because we can at least flash in the Sentinel's Mark. And I think that is what we're going to do, just to be extra safe, because it does look like they're holding up removal here. First turn shock, maybe second turn stomp. Let's see what they do here. Okay, so they do play it out, so that's perfect. So now we will start running out our creature. And we'll just leave up God's Willing here. We will play Give It a Big Butt. This holds down their blockers if need be. And, yeah. Best turn. Kind of wish this had Flash. I mean, I know it's a common, I know it's only 1 mana, but imagine how great it would be if it just had Flash. Alright. See if they attack in here. Alright, they do, so we will flash out this aura. Gives us enough power and toughness to block here and survive. They'll get a couple 1/1s, but you know what? No, I'm not going to block here. They still have 1 red mana up. They could have the shock that they've been kind of threatening since turn 1, so We'll just pass. We will now have Vigilance, so we will be able to start getting in with... I thought we had All-Seeing Eye, honestly. I thought we had the thing that gives Vigilance. Alright, so we'll do Sentinel's Mark then. And we will get to Addendum, so... but that doesn't really affect us because we already have Lifelink. So yeah, I think we're just going to give ourselves Vigilance here, smack in, gain some life, and go from there. And then leave up Protection. Very nice to have Lifelink against the old mono-red decks. The old big 7/7 beat stick. So I do want to kind of go over here and just double check, because this is my first time playing with this deck as well. I want to see which enchantment is doing which. So this taps a creature and gives +1/+3. As long as the creature has Vigilance, assigns damage equal to its toughness, and then this thing is giving it Vigilance. So when it attacks and when it defends, it is a 7/7. Probably just going to take 12 here. We will, well, we do have the Blessing, so we could make it indestructible. All That Glitters would turn our guy from a 7/7 into an 11/11, and then this would make it 13. If we draw a land, then we can get in and win with God's Willing. But this can also do it, so let's just do this now. Gain a bunch of life, and next turn, if we draw a land, we can definitely win. If not, we still just get in for a bunch of damage. And luckily these are 0 CMC. Okay, so this almost just wraps it up. We're gonna go ahead and do... yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do All That Glitters here. This gets our toughness so high that there's pretty much nothing they can really do. So I'm perfectly fine with just using God's Willing here to simply get in for 12, put them at 1, and then next turn, Alseed. We want to give protection from red. And no need to get that land anymore. One more protection spell would be cool. Get in for 12 here, put them to 1, and then next turn we can Alseed down. Let's see what we got. Phoenix Ash. You want to get in for 6? You want to get in for 12? And they're all tapped out, so I have no qualms blocking here. Just gains us more life. By them simply attacking on the ground, we gained even more life. So yep, we will play Alseed here. We will sacrifice Alseed to give this creature protection from red, and that's the game. So short and simple, that is what we're trying to do. I'll see you guys in game 2. Okay, so we're back here with game 2, and this hand seems fine. We have a creature, we have protection, we have the pumpage. Fun thing is that All That Glitters on Ginger Brute gives it additional +1/+1 counters because this is an artifact. We're playing against Yorion, so I think this will be fine. We're going to keep. If they have a lot of low-end removal, which they usually don't, then we might get blown out here, but I'm going to bet on they don't really have anything for turn 1 to kill our Ginger Brute here. This also does just kind of tell our opponent exactly what we were playing. They're definitely thinking about it. So they might have something that they can play on turn 1. But usually it's just a tap land with these Yorion decks. Yep. That's cool. So I'm perfectly fine with this. Just run out Ginger Brute and we'll leave up God's Willing. Get in the beats. We just want to keep our creatures alive. pretty much the long and short of it, and there's no need to be too kind of hasty with this deck. Yorion build is fairly slow. On turn 3, they could potentially make a couple white blockers, but we give protection from white, and hopefully by that time we're just perfectly fine. Sadly, we don't have a way to give our creatures trample, but this is nice too. We will just Sentinel's Eyes up one of the Ginger Brutes, leave up our protection, and just continue to beats. This is the way we get through all their blockers. This is the way we protect ourselves from the Luca flip into Agent of Treachery. With this deck, we just play safe, and we win. This can be a problem later on. So there's the Clarion. So we will protect this Brute. We'll give it Pro Red. Another Sentinel's Eyes is fine. We will put a additional Sentinel's Eyes on this guys. We'll get in for 3. And same story. Leave up our God's Willing here. A lot of times they play Teferi in this instance. They may try to bounce our Ginger Brute. At that point we will, of course, keep it alive. 4 manas could mean that they play in Fires now. See what they do. Yep. And then what is their follow-up? They just pass. Okay, that's pretty interesting. All right, so they can't do anything on our turn. We are just going to throw out an All Seed here. Again, just continually leaving up our protection here. Pretty interesting that they didn't have anything else to do. Very curious. So it's our 5th land. Definitely very, very in the think tank. What do we have, opponent? What do we have? Shadow the Sky. We'll do this. And then, that way he lives. And the fun fact about Shadow Sky is that the creature doesn't have to die and be power 4 or greater. It just has to have a creature with power 4 or greater, so you get an extra card of that. And I just realized that we haven't updated our record. It's like, we have it on the screen, we might as well do it. There we go. Alright, so now we have more mana, which is great. So now that we can play All That Glitters and still hold up protection. And I'm pretty sure they do have to block here, because if we are faking another Karametra's Blessing, then they lose. So they're playing very defensively. And we'll end the turn. Now what we really want to do is we want to see some form of pumpage. If they end up not playing anything, which would be very highly unlikely, we could play Lurrus into perhaps another Ginger Brute. Okay, so they throw out a Shark Typhoon as their first spell. Second spell is something that makes a shark. So they make a 2/2 shark. Alright, we can make ourselves pro-blue. So even if they have another Shark Typhoon, they can't block with that additional creature. So all we need to do is draw an aura. And we got there. If we don't draw an aura, then we most likely just play Lurrus and leave up protection. Of course, we still get in. And that works too. Awesome. So we'll play the Blessing on here. Because they can't play anything on our turn, they can cycle another Shark Typhoon. And then we'll God's Willing Pro Blue and get the win. Win against the Yorian Sky Nomad, one of the best decks in the Standard. We've just been kind of giving it to him. Oh, you know what? One flew over the chicken coop because they do have Castle Ardenfell. I did say that might get me. Oh man, that could be the blunder. Oh, but they missed it! Wow, okay, so we got lucky there. Don't forget about your Castle Ardenvale, and make sure that you activate your castle in the attack phase, not in the defense phase. So, a little oopsie, but we mitigating it. I'll see you guys in Game 3. Okay, back here with Game 3, and we have a pretty mopey hand. We do have a bunch of creatures to enchant onto. We do have an enchantment. So I think this is keepable. We're only running 20 lands, so having 3 in our opening hand seems decent. Any more, and we're kind of flooding a bit. 4 is kind of the max we want to get into, just for the off chance of throwing Lurrus down to get a creature back, or a random enchantment that we need. So this is definitely keepable. And our opponent was so gracious to actually mulligan. So we'll keep. There's no need to really go any lower. If you have a creature and you have an enchantment, you kind of want to go for it. The protection is just a nice caveat. We'll see what happens. Alright. The old Fabled Passage. We will go... It's pretty tricky. So I normally like to go with the non-hasty creature first, just so that the next turn we can get in for both creatures. But since we have a couple Ginger Brutes, I'm probably just going to go Ginger Beats. We're not really sure exactly what our opponent's playing here, and if they just drop Blocker, then we feel bad. So let's get our damage while we can, because we are an aggro deck. We do kind of just want to continually keep the hurt on. Let's see what they get here. I'm going to guess black. Alright. A little bit of tail from the sleeves here. They are playing the flavor sleeves. Okay, yep, so they did get the blocker down, so we were able to get in with the Ginger Brute. So now we are going to play 2 Healer's Hawks, because I don't think our opponent is going to be playing board wipes if they're playing a Baby Godzilla deck. And there's no need to leave up protection when we have so many creatures. If they kill both our Hawks, then we've gotten 2 removal spells out of their hand, which is kind of like playing protection. El Reach, huh? That puts a bummer on things. Well, we will solid footing up a Healer's Hawk here, and he will be our choice. Now we just need to draw into some auras. The creature go wide decks can be a little bit tricky, especially if they have multiple colors, since we won't be able to protection our way through them as easily. Ooh. We got the funky mutate deck going on. Well, there's a big boy. Yep, this deck, much like the mono-red deck, does not play removal. Our removal is blocking with protection. So, but they're getting in. They're getting in. It doesn't have vigilance, so they're wanting to race us. Okay. All right, the race is on. All that glitters me. Give me the glitter. Well, we're drawing all of our creatures, that's for sure. So let's all get in, and we'll most likely just Lurrus and play back the Ginger Brute. We're going shields down on our Healer's Hawk, but it's only got 1 enchantment on it, and we just need to erase. See what they do here. Luckily we don't have any multicolored spells, so there's that. See if they play interesting. Alright, we'll throw out All Seed here just as an extra little protection unit, and we will swing the Dream Team. Bounces Lurrus. Nah. Quench me? Okay. It's fine. We could just sacrifice this Brute here and gain 3 life. I have no real reason to leave up the Blessing here. And since we are racing... Oh, oopsies. My bad. Let's see if we can win even through making mistakes. Forgot that these things could become unblockable by paying a simple generic mana. We're learning together. We're learning together. We'll just get it back next turn anyway. No blocks. This thing had lifelink. Big game. Okay, another protection piece. We're gonna do this. Alright, then we're going to go to combat. All gets. If they block with Baby Godzilla, I'll kill it. If they try to block with something else, I can make protection or kill it. See if they throw Baby Godzilla up in the air or just get a little extra damage out of it. No, they're just going to flash in the flyer. Okay. So that's fine. Nice. Yep, so we'll just let All Seed fall through the Great Beyond here, and we will Blessing up this Hawk, gain some extra life. Send it back to the OP. Perfectly fine with, I was going to say blocking with Lurrus here, but this might be game. Haven't done the math of it yet. Might be close. Might be 12 damage. So that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's only 10 damage. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, only 1 mutation. So, yep. It's only 10. They're really thinking about it. They're really thinking about it. Very much think. It's gonna be close. This game's gonna be very close. Did not hit our auras, but that's kind of how the deck works. It's much like Boggles in Modern. If you just draw your creatures and you don't draw any of your enchantments, then you're not able to do much. You know, you smack in for what little you can. So this should drain us for 2, knock us down to 11. bounce our Lurrus, and then if they want to swing out, they can... get us to 1, 2. Where are we not? What happened? Why did we not take damage? We did mutate. What's going on? Did Arena have an issue? So, okay, there it is. Arena had a little stall, perhaps? This is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. So they are targeting this. They are targeting Healer's Hawk here. Wait, what? What is going on? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Well, we did not draw. Yet again, we did not draw a aura. So we'll play Ginger Brute here. Yep, none of these have reach. We will activate the Brute. Activate the Brute. Leave up protection. I'll attack. Leave back Lurrus. And that's fine. We're on the wide plan. We will just keep protection up for Lurrus. Gain some life, hopefully, with a nice little block here. See if we can pull out the win against this interesting blue-black mutate list. I've not dabbled in brewing up a mutate list of my own yet. That might be something I have to look into. Perhaps another fun budget brew to look into. There's a lot of really good mutate creatures that do not cost much. See what happens here. They're gonna get in. We will block. They must have something going on over here at instant speed. Must have something. I'm actually unsure how trample works with protection. I'm not sure if like trample just goes completely over the protected creature, or since it can't be destroyed by damage, it has to deal all damage necessary to kill, and in this case would be all of it, because even all of it doesn't kill it. I think, pretty sure. Oh, that's right. It's pro multicolor. All right, so we will just end up taking 7 here. All right, so that makes it pretty easy, and that's fine. If we draw all that glitters, we win. We put all that glitters on Lurrus, and so that would give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yep, and then we can swing in 8, 9. So yeah. So all that glitters off the top. Another creature. We're just not hitting our enchantments here. That is a pickle and a half. Alright, we will play Solid Footing. On our Lurrus here. See what they got going on. Oh, Sea Dasher, eh? So they're going to return Lurrus to our hand. Is that what their plan is here? We need to gain the life, so I'm gonna say no. We'll leave the Ginger Brute in hand for now. And they can't flash in their Brazen Borrower, so I am thinking about just attacking with Healer's Hawk here. I'm sure we could keep our life a little bit higher by blocking, but if they have another mutate creature, then we're pretty much in the pooper as it is. So we'll just get in with Lurrus. We'll play it safe. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. We really, really could use a little something here. Hope they don't have like a flashy mutate creature. Oh. Yep, alright, so that'll do it. Well, that's all we needed to fade was just that, and the next turn we could have done 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to them. Man. That was all we needed to fade. That's all we needed to fade. Well, okay. They drew the one card. See you in game 4. Okay, back here with game 4. Pretty unfortunate loss there in game 3. We had our opponent dead on the backswing, but they just drew the right card to finish us off. So, good job, opponent. You drew a tad bit better than we did. Plus, we had just a whole bunch of creatures and no real enchantments. And now we have the opposite. We have the creature with all of our enchantments. Don't have protection. We are going to keep this hand, and we are just going to slam the Gingerbread here. You just kind of got to play into the variance sometimes and just hope that our opponent doesn't have removal on turn 1. Very few decks do, but in Best of Run, we are seeing Shock. And in some Lurrus builds, we're seeing Deadweight, but opponent is not playing Lurrus. Okay. So Temple Abandon makes me think that this is Temur Reclamation, since Temur Reclamation can't have a companion. No, we're just gonna give him the big beats. And then next turn we make it into a 6/6. If we draw a land, we make it into much bigger. So we could be playing against... Okay, so we're playing against Gruul monsters. Did not draw the land there. We're just going to go all in. The Gruul Monsters deck doesn't really have anything that can kill large creatures outside of blocking. They do have a couple fight spells sometimes. Otherwise, most of their damage is, I mean, besides fighting, only 3. Blocking is also something that our opponent can do. which they're going to need to. And then next turn we can give protection to something. Forget about Gem Razor. Gem Razor is a way to get around our Ginger Brute. But we didn't have any protection otherwise, so... Gem Razor doing work. Sure. Get tapped. And we'll get rid of... Get rid of these two. We'll leave up Solid Footing and all that glitters for turns to come if we do end up playing Lurrus. So we can't block Gem Razor here, but we can block Robber the Rich. Now if they have another Gem Razor, then that's just... insane. This is interesting. Okay. 7. No blocks. No blocks. They could have the deal 3 damage thing here. And that also would have killed our All-Seed. So now we just need to draw the right aura. Oh. Sometimes they just have the shock. Alright, close game, close game. Missed out on our protection spells, but you cannot win them all. That'll take us to 2-2. See you guys in round 5. See if we can get that 3-2. Okay, we are back here with round 5, trying to get ourselves that winning record. One more swing with Obosh. We do have protection, we have a good creature, we have enchantments, so this fits the qualifications of what is considered a good hand. Obosh is a tricky boy. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it, and hope they don't have removal on turn 1. Perfect. No blocks. We will go land. We will play Addendum here. This gives our guy Vigilance. Life gain is also pretty neat. However, if they have a deal 3 damage spell, then we're in a bag. They won't have any that cost 2 mana. Nice. Okay. Doodly 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 doo. We're just gonna keep getting our butt super big. We will tap down. I don't know. What do we want them to block with? We'd love if they block with Fervent Champions, so we're not gonna tap that. We'd love them to block with Scorch Bitter, so we'll tap the 10th Street Dodger. I'll tap. Simple as that. End turn, and then we have tons of good protection and regain on life. This is what we want to see. Heraldic Banner. Yep. Just gonna get in for 2 there. Simple as that. The race is on. My turn. Give me something good. It's not something bad. We're definitely going to continue to leave up protection here. Let's go ahead and get in. See what they do as I scratch my ear. We are currently winning this race, and we will throw out a Healer's Hawk. Because it's 1 extra power on the field, and it gains us life. No 5th mana for Obosh. But now they're going to be able to attack for 4 a turn. If and when they do throw down Obosh, it'll be 8 a turn for the champion. No need to go extra wide here. We just want to gain extra life and still leave up blockers, just in case they have some form of blowout, blowback. So we're just going to keep our life as high as possible. And then next turn we can have lethal if we survive. So we give this pro red and a little bit bigger. There's the Obosh. So now they can't get in unblockably. That's game. That should do it. Yep. And then we will God's Willing up this Alseed. We will give it pro red. We will give it enough power to win, and I'll attack for lethal. And there you have it. And there's simple. So we ended up getting the 3-2, which is, I guess, what budget decks are doing. But I mean, hey, that's a 60% win rate, and that's all you need to climb the ladder. I will see you guys in the wrap-up. Okay, well, the deck seemed pretty good. I did like it. We did have a little bit of a variance bug on one of the games that we could have won if we'd just drawn a few different cards in different orders. But as the video stands, deck is 3-2. And did pretty great. If you wanted to make some quick and easy upgrades to this deck, one of the first things would be that I really like Ardenvale. I think that land, it just kind of, if I can click, I think that land fits in pretty easily into the deck, and it's really just a flood protection. We don't see it too much with 20 lands, but it's literally just a simple, easy include. Outside of that, you could try and weave the deck into the white-black variant, but I think that this build right here is already pretty tight as it is. I couldn't think of really what white cards that I might want to add to just make this deck better if we wanted to like throw in some rares. And there really aren't any. The deck is pretty much already maxed out as it is. Perhaps a giant killer might be interesting. I mean, it is removal. But outside of what's already in the deck, there's not much that I would make a change to it for. So pretty neat that the deck is pretty much already maxed out at budget. So that's something to take with you, something to consider when building this deck. Last note is if you want to buy this deck in paper, it is only $19. You can get this entire deck for under 20 bucks, and it's putting up really well. So 19 bucks, you take this to your local game store, you can probably end up easily going 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 with this deck. It's definitely put up a few 5-0s already. Sadly, we did not see it on this video, but we showed a fair game of 3-2. So yeah, definitely take this into consideration as we scroll down here and show the other two auras. This deck is really strong. It's really good, and the deck is fairly easy to play. Definitely read the full card text so that you understand what each card has. A little bit of a blunder of that, but yeah, I think this deck has everything that it really needs to do well, and it does well. So probably wait until after June 1st. If this deck ends up not having Lurrus, it may not be good enough. But we only really used Lurrus once or twice, and the deck can still win without it. So take that into consideration before you spend your money. Wait till June 1st. Check out to see if there are any bannings or any changings to the companion mechanic that makes this deck worse. But definitely would consider purchasing and picking this deck up if you're looking for a great place to start to get into Magic or on Arena. It's simple. It's one rare. It's 12 uncommons and 28 commons. So super easy to build up. Yeah, and that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you want more budget Magic videos. I really enjoy doing these. So you guys have a nice day and stay safe.